All right, we are on Chapter 1, Section 9, called Estimate Roots, and this is for Math 8. So, as always, kind of going through my videos here, you should, on your screen, this is the teacher preview, you will see a due date here at the beginning before attempts. You always have unlimited attempts, so you can come in here and complete this as many times as you would like. This particular assignment only has 4 questions. Grading policy, it's always the best score. So, you know, if your first attempt was your best score and you've come in and tried it a few times, you don't lose any points for that or anything. It's always your best score. And partial credit is enabled, meaning if you answer 1 of 4 questions, you get credit for the 1 question. And make sure you always click the Submit Assignment button in the bottom right corner. You won't see it on my screen. Again, Teacher Preview doesn't have that, but you will see it on your screen when we click Start here. All right, a couple more pieces here. Every single one of these for the homework has these 3 kind of buttons on the side, so you can click on explanation. It will give you the answer to this exact question. So it's telling you you're going to lose the attempt for that question because it's not going to give you the answer and then have you come and type it in. You lose the attempt, you'll have to go in on another attempt, so you have to retake this after you're done and to answer that question. So if you want to see the answer to this one, which is a cool feature, you know, definitely click OK and view it. Just know that you're going to have to come back in to actually answer it. And it'll be a different number, you know. Explanation example just opens up literally an example page here, which is, again, pretty convenient, and it'll be different examples every time you open it. So if you read through this one, you know, then okay, I get it, and you come back over here and go, you know what, I don't really get it. You can click on example again, and it'll be a different example. So now you can see it again with a different number, just to kind of see how that works. And you can click on that as many times as you want. You can also message your teacher with this problem kind of directly attached. Okay, so let's go ahead and estimate some roots. So we're going to find 2 consecutive whole numbers that the square root of 26 lies between. So what we want to do on this one, and this is what we would do on our notes pages from class, is we want to know, okay, well, what are the squares for our whole numbers? So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, 1 squared is going to be 1. 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. 25 squared. So this is squared. I'll kind of do that so that you understand that. If you're writing this on your paper, you want to give yourself some labels like that so that you can go back to it and kind of tell, okay, what were we doing here? Why did I write these numbers down? So then we have 36, 49, 64, 81, and 100. Oof, my arrows are getting a little ugly there. Okay, so now when we're estimating, what we want to do is, because 26 is not one of these numbers, but 25 is really close, and then 36 would be the next one. So these are the 2 that it lies between for 26. So it's much closer to 25, but it lies between 25 and 36. So this is exactly what it wants us to do. It's just identify which 2 whole numbers does it lie between. Now, we're not going to type in 25 and 36. What it wants us to do is type in 5 and 6. Okay, because those are the actual square roots for 25 and 36. So we just needed to look at the squares to see where it would fit in there. So we would type in 5 and 6, and that should be our answer. Good to go there. Continue. So let's see, do we need this list for our next one? We do. Okay. So now, come back over here. I'm going to get rid of this. So now we're looking at 78. So we're going to go down the list and say 78. Okay, well, that's bigger than 64, but smaller than 81. So here it is. It fits in here. So it's between 8 and 9. 8 and 9. So we're thinking about that idea of, okay, well, what if I don't have an actual square? Can I still figure out what the square root is? Well, yeah, it's going to be probably closer to the 9 range than the 8 range because it's closer to 81 than it is 64. So we can kind of estimate that based on the idea of what is it close to? What do we already know on our squares? All right, next one. Okay, so with this one, they actually want us to try to estimate this. So plot the square root of 85 on a decimal line as accurately as possible. So with this one, I know it's going to be somewhere between these two, right? It's going to be between 9 and 10, and they even have 9 and 10 up here. So they aren't really asking me to do that. What we want to do is we want to know what is the square root. So I'm actually going to break out my calculator here instead of estimating it, and I'm going to say 85. And if I think about this, it's probably going to be pretty close to the 9 range. So I'm thinking like 9.2 maybe. But let's go ahead and test it out. Ooh, that was pretty good, 9.2. So I'm going to take my dot, I need to select it. See, now I have a hand here. And if you notice, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 if I go all the way to the next whole number. So it's divided up into tenths for me already. And this is the tenths place. So I'm going to go 9 for my whole number and then 1, 2. And I'm going to click, and that places my dot there. And I'm going to go ahead and check that. What is it not like? As accurately as possible. Oops, dang it, I clicked on another button. Did I not type it in right? 9.2. Does it want it a little bit more? Okay, so it just didn't want it right on top of 9.2. So it actually wanted us to be a little bit more accurate. So I went, dang it, I keep pressing too many buttons here. So I just went to the 10th, but it kind of wanted us to pay attention to the fact that it's a little bit more than 2/10. So that's why I wanted it a little bit farther. So it's just kind of being a little bit more picky than I was assuming. All right, let's go to the last one here. So we're going to plot this guy as accurately as possible also. So let's see, we have 46. We're going to do square root. And there is a calculator in here also. So you can also use this calculator. And I can see there's the square root button. Here's the cube root button. So we can also use this calculator right here. And so this one, you have to type the number in here first and then hit the button. On this calculator, you have to hit the button and then type the number in. So just be aware, different calculators here. And then you can hit, I believe, just enter or equals. And there we go. So as accurately as possible, we have 6.78. So if we come on here, let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it's 0.8. So it's going to be pretty close over here to almost the 8th section. Because if we could divide this row up here into 10 more pieces, we have to go all the way to the 8th one there. So I think, let's see if that's accurate enough for them. It didn't like it. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 46, square root. Let's see, what did it not like about it? Did I not go far enough? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. On the decimal lines. Did it want it even closer? This guy's just being terribly picky. There we go. I wanted it even closer. So it is being very picky about where you place that line. Because it wants it pretty much right on the line there, which, I mean, it makes more sense if we divided this up into 10 pieces. It would be pretty darn near close, right, like that. All right, so that is section 9. I believe we might be done with chapter 1. So I think I will see you in chapter 2.